even know? Tell me world, where am I to? Young, broken, infamous, I'm feeling kinda low.
What's up everybody? First of all, I hope your day is going really well so far, and I hope that you keep playing Clash of Clans because I like Clash of Clans and it's a good game, so fuck it, why not, you know? But anyways, today I'm going to show you guys my experience on how I made Dark Elixir really fast, and hopefully you can take away something from this. But I did it specifically for my heroes. So much so that it's gotten to a point that I can upgrade both of my heroes at the same time, regardless of whatever level they may be. So let me go ahead and show you guys now. I've been using this strategy known as Goblin knifing. This is a Town Hall 10 example, but this is what I use. And in this entire army, notice I bring a lot of giants and a lot of goblins. These are the troops, the main troops that I use to focus and pick off certain collectors, drills, and storages. And then I also make sure I save some room for some wizards, barbarians, and archers, just in case I do need to make a decent push for a certain base. And that way I have strength behind my giants, because goblins alone can't do it. And as far as spells go, I just make sure I bring a lot of healing spells to keep some of my giants and goblins up. That way I can get whatever I want and then dip out of there. So this is a Town Hall 10 example. This is my example. You guys can go ahead and adjust it however you guys want, or do whatever you want. Just make sure you bring a lot of giants and wizards. Giants and goblins, I mean. Now let me show you guys some examples of my raids. So let me show you guys. First of all, notice how in my entire warlog I keep losing. I lose more than what I win. And I do that for a reason, to stay where I'm at, which is a key point. I'll bring that up in a little bit. But also notice how I'm making a lot of Dark Elixir. 2.3k Dark Elixir up top, 1.6 down here, 2.8, 2.1, 3.3, 2.2, 1.4, 4k Dark Elixir in this raid, 977, and 1.3 down here below. Now let's go ahead and get started with some examples. So let me show you guys an example where I don't use all of my troops. And the good thing about this strategy is that even if you don't have any of your heroes up, you can still use it. You don't need to rely on your heroes for this strategy. That's the whole point of this strategy, to keep raiding, keep making Dark Elixir even when both of your heroes are done upgrading. That way you have enough for the next upgrade before they're even done. So, key point. First of all, I highly recommend that if you're going to try this strategy, to come down here to Crystal and Gold. Gold or Crystal, because this is where I've been finding most of the loot, and a lot of dead bases like this one. A lot of dead bases, like a crazy amount. I don't even know why, but that's a good thing. And notice how in this raid, I'm picking off certain sections. I'm using some of the giants to cover for my goblins to go in as the defenses are targeting the giants, but they get what they need, what I want them to get, and then after that I just end up dipping, moving on to the next section, and I use some of the wizards, barbarians, and archers to clear off some of the structures. But I know that the goblins don't target the structures, that you can go straight in towards the base to get certain collectors and avoid wasting time on picking off certain structures, or avoid wasting troops, because you may want to like get in deep in towards the base. But to do that, if you don't have goblins, you're gonna have to push in and use most of your troops. But if you have goblins, you can go ahead and avoid all of that and just push in, get what you want, and then dip out. So as soon as I got what I needed, I dipped out, and then when I got back towards my base, I didn't wait too long for all of my troops, and then I was ready to go almost within a short amount of time. So that's a good thing. I'm not spending too much time, which is also another key point. Don't use all of your spells or troops if you don't have to. Just get what you want and then dip out, and then lose if you want to stay down here in Crystal or Gold. Just make sure you lose enough to stay down here. And let me show you guys another example, this one right here. And again, in this example, notice how there's collectors almost in every section, 4 sections, and I just get what I want and then eventually end up dipping. So coming in again with some giants, wall breakers, using some goblins as my giants tank for them to get what they need. And just get these collectors in this section, then I move up top to this section. And again, you guys, the goblins do double damage. I know you guys know that, but they're pretty good because you can avoid all of these structures and avoid the heroes. Because if you use barbarians and archers, if you're pushing in a section where there's a hero there, your barbarians and archers can concentrate on the hero, which is something you don't want. You can go ahead and use goblins to get what you need and avoid attacking the hero, and then just move on to section to section. And eventually, when you get what you want, you end up dipping. Like in this part right here, I used the healing spell because I was running low on some of the goblins, and I was like, okay, you know what? At this point, it's not worth trying to get everything else. Let me just do what I came here to do, and that's to get the Dark Elixir and then eventually dip. And I use my king right here, despite him taking some damage, because again, I don't need to rely on him. I don't need him for this kind of raids. And then as soon as I got what I wanted, even though it wasn't everything, I ended up dipping because I had to keep raiding. I want to keep raiding constantly. And final key point I would say would be that I don't spend too much time searching for a raid. You know, like I don't find myself spending over five minutes or longer searching for a raid, because that's wasting time. I just attack the next decent base that I come across, even if it requires me to do a decent push. For example, this raid, look at the amount of loot available. Obviously, coming in, I knew I wasn't going to get everything from the beginning because of the army composition that I'm using, but I decided to get as much of it as I could because I want to save some time and keep raiding. So I pick off this section right here with some giants and archers, and then decided to use the remaining of my troops down here on this collector and this section right here by this army camp to basically get to this point right here by the AD, or in between the AD and this storage, and split off the remaining of my troops. That way some of them can go off to this section, top right section, and some of them can go off to this bottom left section and get the loot, because most of the loot seemed evenly distributed in this base, so I wanted to get as much of it as I could. And even though my spell placement wasn't that good right here, I was just trying to keep up the essential troops, and hopefully they can get most of the loot. And I was trying to get this Dark Elixir tank, but I couldn't. So in the end, you're gonna see that I didn't end up getting everything, and there was a lot remaining, but I got as much of it as I could, and I did end up using everything I had. So doesn't matter, I still made a shit ton of profit, and that's all that matters. So hopefully you guys find this helpful. This is my experience, and I'm telling you, it works, you guys. Some of my claimants are using it. It's going really well so far, so I highly recommend to use it if you want to make Dark Elixir really fast, specifically for your heroes. So that's it. Later, guys.